to the Golden State Warriors News Today channel. Take the opportunity to leave that like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go to today's news.
Imagine this, the heart and soul of one of the greatest NBA dynasties bidding farewell. What comes next? That's the question looming over the Chase Center now that Draymond Green, one of the most polarizing and impactful figures in Warriors history, has ended his journey with the team. For over a decade, Green was more than just a player. He was the engine that powered the death lineup and the maestro of a defense that terrorized opponents at every position. For NBA titles, all-star selections, and a reputation as one of the league's best defenders cemented his place in the pantheon of greats. But every legend carries their share of ghosts. Amid the championship glories, there were controversies. A punch to Jordan Poole, controversial suspensions, a chokehold on Rudy Gobert, and a string of incidents that tested the patience of even the most loyal Dub Nation fans. Yet, it's impossible to deny Green's complexity. His basketball IQ and ability to orchestrate the Warriors' offense made him unique. It wasn't just about defense, it was vision, dedication, and leadership. However, 2023 brought a harsh reality. The friction between Green and the Warriors reached a breaking point. After another early playoff exit and incidents on and off the court, it was time for both parties to part ways. Now the question echoes, who will step up? Who can bring the intensity, versatility, and leadership that Draymond Green delivered night after night? The post-Green era begins with uncertainties, but also possibilities. What do you think about the impact of this change on the Warriors' future? Can the team find a new balance or face the challenge of rebuilding what once seemed indestructible? Draymond Green's departure not only marks the end of an era for the Warriors, but also prompts reflection on what lies ahead. His absence will undoubtedly be felt across all aspects of the game. The defense, often anchored by his vision and ability to anticipate plays, will need a new figure to take on this crucial role. Moreover, the leadership dynamic within the roster will shift. Green was known for being vocal, motivational, and, in many cases, the emotional driving force that guided the team through its toughest moments. Yet, those same qualities often crossed boundaries, creating internal tensions that could no longer be ignored. The challenge for the Warriors now is to balance this transition. Players like Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody have a golden opportunity to establish themselves as key contributors. They inherit not only a legacy of excellence, but also the responsibility to help keep the Warriors competitive in an increasingly balanced and unpredictable NBA landscape. Head coach Steve Kerr and the front office, led by Mike Dunleavy Jr., will need to make strategic decisions to reshape the roster. Will we see bold trades or acquisitions to fill the void left by Green? Or will the team rely on the internal development of its young talent? One thing is certain, the coming months will be pivotal in determining the direction of this new phase. Draymond Green, on the other hand, remains a sought-after name among many franchises. His unique ability to impact the game with intense defense, tactical intelligence, and leadership on and off the court is still highly valued. What will the next chapter of Green's career look like? A new team, a new system, perhaps even a new role? The future remains uncertain, but his mark on basketball is undeniable. And now, Dub Nation, we want to hear your thoughts. How do you see the future of the Warriors without Draymond Green? Who do you believe will be the next leader of this team? What does the team need to do to remain competitive at the highest level? As a Warriors fan, I see Green's departure as a significant milestone and a turning point for the franchise. He was an irreplaceable piece in building the dynasty, not just for the numbers or achievements, but for the passion and intensity he brought to every game. It's impossible to talk about the Warriors without mentioning how Green embodied the team's competitive spirit. However, like all cycles, this one also had to come to an end. Honestly, his departure is a mix of relief and apprehension. On one hand, the last few years brought more controversies than moments of brilliance, and that certainly wore down both the team and its fans. On the other hand, we know that Draymond, with all his complexities, was always the player who gave his all for the team. He was the battle cry when everything seemed lost, and the strategist when the team needed a crucial play. The big question now is how the Warriors will fill this void. Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody have potential, but still need to mature. And what about the offensive system? Without Green facilitating ball movement, who will take on that role? I believe Stephen Curry and Andrew Wiggins will have to shoulder even more responsibilities, which could be challenging in terms of longevity and efficiency. Additionally, reinforcements are needed, not just in talent, but in leadership. The team is in a transitional phase and must find the balance between developing young players and staying competitive in the present. A strategic trade or a smart move in the market could be essential to ensuring the Warriors remain relevant. As painful as it is to say goodbye to someone like Draymond Green, I believe his departure also opens doors to a new era. It's a chance to reshape the team's identity and explore new paths to success. As a fan, I'm excited and optimistic, but I also know that the road to the next title may be more challenging than ever. He was the embodiment of the Warriors' us against the world spirit, especially during the dynasty's rise. His ability to impact the game in ways that don't show up in the box score, whether by changing the defensive rhythm, adjusting rotations, or motivating teammates, is something that will be extremely difficult to replace. On the other hand, it's important to acknowledge that, in recent years, some of his actions came at a cost to the team. From the altercation with Kevin Durant to the punch on Jordan Poole, these moments left a negative mark on the team's culture. The Warriors have always been known for their synergy and collective style, but these disruptions raised questions about how beneficial Green's presence remained. Now, as a fan, I look to the future with a mix of optimism and curiosity. We have promising players like Kuminga and Moody who can grow with more space and responsibility. There's also the question of how the team can use this departure as an opportunity for tactical evolution. Perhaps, without Green, we'll see a different approach that allows Stephen Curry and Andrew Wiggins to further explore their offensive potential. And, of course, we still have Steve Kerr at the helm. He has an incredible ability to adapt the team to circumstances and maximize what each player can offer. With Kerr leading the process, I believe this transition could be less painful than it seems. In the end, Green's departure marks the end of a glorious era, but not necessarily the end of the Warriors' competitiveness. If the front office makes the right moves and emerging players step up, there's still a lot of fight, and perhaps even more titles ahead. As a fan, I'll be cheering and following every step of this process. And you? Are you optimistic about this new phase, or do you think the Warriors face a long rebuilding period? Share your thoughts here. And don't forget to keep following Warriors News Fan Update as we unravel the next chapter of this dynasty together.